Bride speaking. I'm at the Adelaide Royal Show and the animals are just coming out for what they call the Grand Parade.
Schools G.P. parade.
You can see over in the background the horses are starting to come out.
Many of them carrying
the goats here in the foreground.
Which school they are representing.
It's very pretty. They all sort of march them around in a circle.
But some school youngsters started off to look after a steer at their school, and it has grown and grown and grown. And many schools in South Australia and other parts of Australia have these steer competition. Look at them, they're coming in from everywhere.
They've got a good day for it.
And
it's
coming
quite
around
sunny.
From the dairy pavilion.
A few dark clouds there, but the sun's out.
And again, these are being looked after by various schools.
These are all country kids
the poor goats are leading them out
from country towns.
Other goats are used for milk production because there are a lot of people who have an allergy to cow's milk, and therefore the only milk they can tolerate is the milk of a goat.
Now, Graham, with the goats, there are 31 schools that are taking part, and there's 178 goats on parade today.
Incredible.
And so each school can care for a maximum of 8 goats, and generously donated from breeders. And each school keeps them for 3 months.
Throughout the day, they have all of these equestrian events and
tomorrow,
steeplejack and what have you.
School today will be awarded after the Grand Parade.
One actually probably during the Grand Parade, because it's scheduled for 3:15.
That's right.
I don't think our Grand Parade will be off by then.
No.
But they will fill the oval. They will fill the oval. And of course, it must be sad for a lot of these youngsters who have looked after these animals, and they become very attached to them. And at the end of the school year, they have to say goodbye. And that must be quite heart-wrenching for some of them. Now you'll see there's all different breeds. I can see some polled Herefords, I can see some Murray Greys. And really it doesn't matter the breed, it's the care and the love and the attention that they give these animals that matters. So these youngsters, they learn responsibility, they also learn a lot about the farming and how to handle animals. And the little black one just coming on now, that would be an Angus, originally from Scotland, Aberdeen. And originally they were called Aberdeen Angus, but that was dropped off in later years and just became Angus. The Murray Grey, and there's one literally straight in front of the member stand at the moment, and the Murray Grey is one of Australia's contributions to the cattle industry. Developed on the Upper Murray area, they've followed along, and it was a chance mating of an Angus and a Shorthorn that actually produced these curiously coloured animals. There's a farmer up there and he spotted them and he thought, what a interesting thing. I'll hang on to this. And it wasn't long before he started looking
just
around.
Just watch my coat there, it's going to fall off. And you'll get all over you.
And eventually he had enough to start a breed society. And Murray Greys now, they are being purchased by producers right around the world. It's quite a big export trade in Murray Grey cattle. And we can be very proud of the Murray Grey. There's other breeds. There are what they call small animal breeds, and the low line, which is the small version of the Angus, is Australian. The square metre, which is the small version of the Murray Grey, is also Australian. So we have made quite a contribution to the cattle industry here in Australia. Have a look. The goats are still coming on. Now most of the goats are used for milk production, but there is now a very flourishing industry for production of goats for meat. Most of them go overseas, not a big market for them here in Australia, but they are sold here and are exported. So here come our goats, and they're going to move further forward. And look, cattle are still pouring on, and already on the other side of the arena they have reached the turning point, and they now will sort of go inside the other line-up of cattle. Still they pour on.
Now, Graham, there are 43 schools that are taking part in the beef cattle steers, so that's why there are so many coming onto the arena. There's 170 steers here today.
170.
170.
That is incredible. And of course, they have been here. They didn't just arrive this morning. They've been here for a while. So the kids get an opportunity to socialise and to talk and chat with other schools about what they're doing and what they've achieved with their led steers. And for people that don't understand the cattle industry, a steer is a neutered male. So I can see many breeds of steers down there. Again, there's a Murray Grey, there's a Polled Hereford, there's an Aberdeen or an Angus. As you know today, there's a Limousin. And of course our feature breed here this year is the Santa Gertrudis. They're a very interesting breed. Established back in 1920 in King Ranch. You wouldn't believe it, there's a Santa Gertrudis just coming onto the oval, just as I speak. Santa Gertrudis, they were established at King Ranch in Texas in 1920.
Those goats
It was
are still
the mating
coming
of
out.
Brahman.
They've got heaps of goats here.
And the breed was established on lines of 3/8 Barman and 5/8 Short Haul. And the owner of King Ranch was having a few problems with the climatic conditions in producing the right kind of cow or steer or bull, whatever they wanted. And so he started to play around and started to cross them, and they produced the Santa Gertrudis breed. By 1940 there was enough of the cattle on the ground to start a breed, and the breed society was formed. They came to Australia in about 1950, and the Santa Gertrudis, being a tropical breed, a part tropical breed, they can stand the heat of the north, and also they are
And the goats are still coming
very,
out.
very important. Because up
Amazing.
until recently, tick was a
There seems to be an
huge
abundance of
problem.
goats this year.
And it was costing the industry millions and millions and millions of dollars because animals had to be regularly sprayed to stop the tick attacking them. And when you crossed borders, you couldn't cross the border until everything had been sprayed. So with the import of the tropical cattle, the need for tick sprays virtually disappeared. Also, they are very heat tolerant, so they don't mind the warmer weather because they come from a warm climate. Tropical cattle are interesting because
I think it's good to see all these young
unlike the European
teenagers.
and the
They're all
British
involved with
a lot of them sweat through
the
this
animals,
like
and
we
it's
do.
very healthy for
The
them
other animals reduce
to be down here for a week
they'll
and
reduce
show
their
their
temperature by
stock.
panting like a dog.
Shows a really good
And,
sign for the children.
You'll see some of the tropical breeds, and you can pick them. On the shoulder, they have a bit of a lump. Now that is a beautiful piece of meat. It makes a lovely pot roast. And also, between their legs, they have what we call a dewlap. And the dewlap is their air conditioning unit. It's a large amount of floppy skin, and the wind or breeze passes over that, and it takes some of the temperature away from the animal's body. So the breeds, there's British breeds, and of course they are the ones that are native to England, Great Britain, and then there are the European breeds which come from Europe, and then you have the tropical breeds which come from India and places in the tropics. So there have been a number of extra breeds created by crossing the European with the tropical, or European with the British, and British with the tropical, to establish new breeds. Why have there been so many new breeds
Look at those
established?
goats, they're just
Well, basically
adorable.
the consumer.
Look at that little billy goat at the front
ate
there.
food, meat, they had a lot of fat on it. And all of a sudden we became very fat conscious. And so we were looking for a lean meat. And the European breeds
These are
of
good
cattle,
name, the Faith
they
through, they're in
provide us
school.
with that lean meat.
Excellent.
Now there's a very
I'll tell you what, those Christian schools, they turn out
Restaurant
nice
trades
children.
don't want the big cuts of meat, they want small cuts of meat. And so there's a large number of small breeds being established. And of course, if you've only got a limited acreage, to have small breeds can be quite an advantage because you don't need so much land. You can have a number of cattle on a much smaller holding. And so the small animal breeds are starting to flourish. Again, Australia has been one that has really led the charge with the small breeds.
And now the carriages and the coaches are coming out. I just hope this film will last. I'm not sure how